Let me first start to briefly introduce myself. I'm Gerrit Schinkel. I'm already almost 35 years in the transport industry, of which the last 25 years, 1 month and 6 days with the company called Alpega. I have been working before at the English road haulage company, both in sales and operations, and now sales responsible for the northern and central part of Europe for Cellerud. So next. Let me first briefly introduce the Alpega Group as it is today. And I'd like to point out the tagline under the header, shaping transport collaboration. Because all divisions, all business units of the Alpega Group have that in common. We are stimulating and shaping collaboration between various parties in the complete supply chain. If we start on the left-hand side, the transport management systems, they have the shippers as customers, and they are coordinating and making standardizations on the communication with the carriers they do. So it's really the platform where the collaboration is end-to-end on the transport and the supply chain. To give you an idea there, they have customers like Unilever, BMW, and Siemens, for example. If I switch to the right-hand side, to the tendering procedure, so the company Tender Easy, they are also really in the vertical collaboration, so in the vertical supply chain, making tendering easy for both the buyers and the sellers of transport services. They follow a very simple 6-step process to identify the needs of you as a company, and also for the carriers indeed that they can respond on that need. They have customers like Puma, Nordic Paper, and Pernod Ricard. So both transport management systems and tendering is really in the vertical collaboration, whereas the middle part, where I come in place there as well, is really a horizontal cooperation between transport and logistics companies. So the freight exchange division of the Alpega Group, they consist of 3 brand names called Cellerud, W Transnet, W Transnet, and 123 Cargo. Both of all of them leading market leaders in specific areas of Europe. Cellerud, specifically France, Benelux, W Transnet, Spain, Portugal, and 123 Cargo in Romania. So those 3 together have over 200,000 loads a day that are handled and are exchanged, as I always say, colleagues amongst each other. The most important thing here is that there is quality and quantity, and on the quality I come back later. Our customer base is really from the large freight forwarding companies, 3PL companies like Schenker, XPO, Essers, to the smaller and mid-size, name them maybe also family-owned transport companies. That's essential. The big companies want to communicate, want to do business with the smaller ones, and the smaller ones want to get in contact with the big companies because they have all the shippers there. So if we take this into account, the Alpega Group has customers in 80 countries worldwide. We have over 500 employees working for the company and still growing. So there also the need is increasing. So we have at this moment 30 vacancies over, and more than 200,000 companies has access to one of those platforms of Cellerud, or the transport management system, or the tendering procedure. And 2020 in total, there were 108 million transport orders handled through one of our platforms. The last slide of my presentation will show you also the email addresses or the websites where all this information can be found in details as well. So next slide, please. I will now start to go a bit more detailed in the freight exchanges. Before we go to the Brexit, so next slide, please. When thinking of freight exchange, typically the transport companies think of one thing. I have a truck and I need a freight, or I have a freight and I need a truck. That was the outcome almost on the study that we did 10 years ago, where our biggest customers indeed had the idea this is what we are looking for. The thing is that freight exchange platforms, we offer far more. It went from really spot markets now also to more and more contractual freights that are handled through our platforms as well. When I started in the company 25 years ago, freight exchange was really known as there are freights on there that are not well paid, or that image is completely changed. Also talking to those customers that really had I need a freight or I need a truck. We explained them and we showed them and we proved to them that through Teleroute it's also possible indeed to get collaboration, to get more structured cooperation with your peers in the market. So how easy is it for a planner to ask to one who's posting a freight if they have freight more often? Because then you can get the next time to a direct deal without maybe using our platform. Time saving and cost saving, that's even a more important topic at this moment, and I think becoming more and more important all the time. When I joined or when I started in the industry, it was really a dispatcher had to phone out, I have a truck empty in Barcelona, and 25 phone calls, he had a freight. Teleroute really makes you have visibility on who has the freight there, so arrange a direct contact. And that's really needed for the whole industry. Nieuws.Transport, a big newspaper in the Dutch market, they had in their issue in the 1st of March 2021 that the profit margins in the sector, believe it or not, are around 1% only in Germany. So transport and freight forwarding companies have a margin of 1%. The Fraunhofer Institute also mentioned about 2 to 3% in the rest of Europe, and the larger companies, so really the Schenkers and the DHLs of this world, they go up to maybe sometimes 6%. Typically, that's the companies that also do value-added logistics in their warehouses. So that would probably also explain why they have that higher margin. The Teleroute software in itself is very easy. It's a website. You don't need to download anything. You just go there, you log in, and you are up and running. But there, of course, is security issues, which I'll explain later on. Next. So, as I said, safety is really massive important. A freight exchange system can't survive if there is no checks on quality and reliability of the partners. We are very proud of the fact that we are the first platform on freight exchange. For the older people amongst us, there were Minitel systems in place many years ago, because there has a time that there was no internet yet. So we need to communicate in a different way. Teleroute is really the inventor of freight exchange, and we are lasting already since now. Very important, and the best proof of the safety and the quality of our platform is that we are still there after 35 years, and as I said, still growing as well. So the reliable service is there. The Safe Marketplace program that we have installed now in all our companies is based on the one from W Transnet. They were in Spain and Portugal really the high security freight exchange system. So their processes are implemented now also in our other platforms. And very important for us is we like to know what's happening in the market. We like to know what you feel and what you do. So we have business assistants in place. They can tell you as well on how well we know companies. Do we have complaints against them? Yes or no? So that all helps to build that safety, that safe community. We really have a community where you can communicate with your colleagues, your competition. You can say it as well, but it's in the horizontal cooperation. So on the Safe Marketplace, we have various checks in place. We have a debt mediation service so that if in any case things will go wrong, we are there to help you as well. We have launched a payment guarantee. So if you really want to make sure that your invoice is paid for 1.99% of the value of your invoice, you are guaranteed of payment of your invoice, even if the other party goes bankrupt. We are the first and only freight exchange system that has that in place. And we have a fast payment service as well. Cash flow, as we all know, is important. As I mentioned, with a profit margin of 1 or 2%, it's very important that you get your money in as soon as possible. So that's where we have the fast payment. So at a small percentage, you will get your invoice paid within 24 hours. Next slide, please. Teleroute in the Brexit. So we can go directly to the next slide, please, Martijn. Yes. So now there should be some things there. So maybe you have to enter. Yeah, there they are. They are coming in. Great. Thank you very much. So some insights here. So the Brexit is in place and you are doing business with the UK or you are not doing yet business with the UK. So Teleroute can help you as well to identify if there is enough return loads to make it profitable for you to move to the UK because you know there is a return load there available for me. The Teleroute platform is a live system. It's an online system. So what you see is actual at that moment what is available. So we are really a mirror of the economy, as I say. So you can use Teleroute in different ways. So not only for the spot markets, but also really use it in a strategic way. So if you get orders in from your customers to go to the UK, if you notice that there is not that much return load, maybe consider posting that freight and hope that, or try to find a UK company that wants return loads from the mainland into the UK again. So it's not only I have a problem now, but you can really use Teleroute as well to take strategic decisions. If we look currently at this moment, so I had a look about an hour ago, we see there is from the UK or from Western Europe to UK 65%. And return loads is 35% if you take export and import together. Offerings from companies like Sealane, XPO, Schenker, Stef, and AWOLs, all kinds of them. Check if all documents are available. Very important for those who are dealing with the UK already, but also if you consider dealing with the UK. Their customs support, customs circuit can help, of course. To help you to make sure that all is in order, that your trucks will not be delayed in any means. Dealing with the UK is always a bit difficult. It's an island. I work for the English company, and I know they have their own way of working as well. So always understand that you are on an island. So prepare. Build in flexibility in your planning so that if things maybe go a bit wrong, that you can that you can fall back on that and that you don't have to cancel too many other orders. And in my feeling, and we will see that later on as well, there still can be made money on doing business to the UK because less companies, since the Brexit, are dealing with the UK. Next, please. The Alpega Group issued in February of this year a large survey on how the transport and logistics industry looked at the impact of COVID-19 and the Brexit. This was held indeed in February, and the final report will be published in 1 to 2 weeks' time. And a part of this, of the Brexit topic, is shown here. So what do we see here? If we go left to the bottom, about 45% of the companies that already do business on the UK expected that they will reduce their activities to the UK. So they are probably most typical companies not having dedicated business there. So the Dutch flour and vegetable industry, they of course will continue driving to the UK. But other companies decided to start or thinking of sending their trucks to other destinations. So 45% of the companies think of a reduction of their activities to the UK. If you then look to the second slide there, are you considering starting business? There you really saw almost 100% no. So only 7% of those companies not doing business with the UK yet are considering taking advantage of this situation by indeed reduce the competition there, that probably pricing will go up for the transport industry. And not surprisingly, I think, if we look at the right-hand side, the main reason why companies decided to reduce their activities to the UK, too much paperwork. And that is for sure also the customs. So there again, customs support can be of assistance there. It took a long time for the governments to really know if there would be a hard Brexit, yes or no. Now we know. And many companies were fearing that they would get lower profit margins in. Next, please. So what did we see in our live database? And the pictures is maybe not very clear, but you can see on both sides that there is both on export and import a massive peak in liquidity of freight from and to the UK. So really, shippers that decided to avoid before Brexit really stepped in. To make sure that their warehouses were full and that they ordered everything, that they had a stock in place there. That went down, but now we see already, probably due to a shortage of Western European trucks, mainly Polish trucks arriving in the UK, that if you see on the left side, the UK to Europe, you see already a peak again starting in April. So we see in our database masses of loads that needs to move from the UK to Europe, where there is no capacity available at this moment. So opportunities for carriers, I would say. Next. Just a very brief, indeed, look at the future. So what do we expect? What do we see happening in I think in the whole world? And that's a growing population with growing demands. So Rick mentioned it as well. He's ordering more and more stuff that is being delivered at home by Alibaba or by whoever. So we see a massive increase in smaller consignments. So the full truckloads will reduce, more LTL part loads there, and a shortage of drivers, and the road congestions in the heavily dense countries like the Netherlands. The road congestions is really massive. So to be able to handle this growth of population and these issues, the solutions are really reducing empty running. I can't say it enough. On average, still 30 to 35% of trucks run empty, either partly or fully empty. So there is a lot of things to gain there. We always talk about 24 hours economy, but to get to the road congestions reduction, we really must execute the 24 hours economy. The Rotterdam Harbor, if a transport company arrives there at 4 o'clock, then the warehouses are closed. So really 24 hours to spread all the trucks on the ring is very important. Truck lanes, I think, especially for the UK, is a good example there. If there is no, then the corridor from the north of France into to where the channel is starting, it's really a big success there, I think. The paperless transport is really stepping in now, so the eCMR starts to get more and more, common, also accepted in more countries from now. And what we see more and more as well is that there is far more interfacing, EDI connections and whatsoever. So also on teleroute, I think at this moment already more than 30% of our freight offers in our platform are through an API ending up in our platform. So avoiding also risk of wrong typing or whatsoever. Next. So, as I promised, the website where you can find additional information, and that's it from my side. Thank you for your attention.